Warning: the following reading contains subject matter that some listeners might find disturbing or difficult to hear. Listener discretion is advised.
Magic, get out!
I try to draw in a ragged breath, try and cry out, but the pain consumes and overwhelms me. My eyes reflectively close against the otherworldly pain as the tendrils hold me aloft and tear into my flesh anew. They pale in comparison, though, to the undulating, rotating mass, drilling and contorting inside my chest as it plunges deeper within it. I can't gather my thoughts against the ripping pain infusing and surrounding me.
Oh, no, curse word! You don't get to hide from this!
Ink barks into my face. The coils beneath my eyelids shift and harden in an instant. With a sickening wet snip, my eyelids fly through the air, my vision returned against my will to the horror before me. The sights and sensations overwhelm me as guttural screams echo into obscurity.
Ink! Let her go! You're killing her!
Mag's voice rings clearly in my head, my eyes snapping away from the macabre vision before me, towards her voice. No, Mag! Run! Don't let her get... No! She reaches through the midnight black bars, crumpled against her prison, as she wails my name. The inky birdcage shifts around her as she extends her hoof as far as she can reach, and tears cascade down her muzzle. Tendrils snake around the exposed bones in my limbs, slicing tendons and muscle with ease. There's no release or respite, and my concept of time shatters with my mind as the litany of pain amplifies. The smell of rancid decay violates my flared nostrils, and decaying flesh joins the pristine viscera that carpets the floor. As my body regenerates, the horror seeps into every nerve, every fiber, as realization burns through the fog of pain in my mind. My body keeps regenerating. This can go on forever if she wants it to. Cold sweat breaks through the few patches of fur that haven't come back patchy or rancid. A new fear gripping me.
You cannot deny who you are, curse word!
The cracked and broken surface makes rasping noises as the leather mask taunts me, a yellow aura holding it before my face.
This is the monster you are, the lost narrator, reader of stories and dammer of souls. But something's missing. Oh, wait, I know!
The tendrils tense and contort, pulling my body taut into a standing position as my vision blurs to red. This excruciating pain reaches levels no mortal pony could survive. My mind's fracturing under the unrelenting misery of 1,000 eternities. The red bleeds through my vision, and I am greeted by the moronic stitched smile and shining gaze of the leather mask. Her taunting laughter accompanies its stoic descent. It gently comes to rest on my snout, and a single coil slowly pushes it into place. I can feel my rotten flesh extend and caress its broken and weathered surface, fusing and melting into the leather. It's a calming, welcoming presence in this new world of agony and torment.
And that's for you!
My bleary mind struggles to focus as I turn my head in Mag's direction. The vicious mass lunges towards her in the cage.
You really are a whore, aren't you?
Ink screams at Mag, lashing a tendril at the cage. Mag yelps in fear, and adrenaline floods my broken frame. I struggle against the coils, but they intertwine and contract around my limbs, locking me into place. I try to force my muzzle open, to scream out, but my mask is sewn shut, muting me. The cage around Mag shifts and flashes before transmuting into brass. She shrinks back against the bars, a wounded bird confined to her cramped cell.
Let her go, Ink. You already have me. What more do you want?
I want my little bird to behave like a proper mare, not a common whore. How dare you? How dare you press your lips on... How could you? How could you do this to me after all I've done and sacrificed for you?
Mag glances over, and our eyes lock for a brief moment. Fear and desperation engulf her lilac orbs. They begin to fill with tears as she looks up into Ink's monstrous face.
Ink, you're right. I'm yours. I've always been yours. I never know what's best for me, but you do. You always have. This is my fault.
Instantly, I struggle against the coils. What the fuck is she talking about? Ink's liquidy face calms and stills as she peers at Mag suspiciously.
Oh, is that so? It's your fault. I'm glad you can finally admit what I've known all along. You were the one who caused all this. Your stupidity and ignorance. That's what got my foe killed when you used her.
I never meant for that to happen. I just wanted to—
No, Magpie! You used Curse Word and her sinister talent to kill my son! A talent she wasn't aware of until you came along!
Mag's eyes widen in shock and horror as Ink's voice becomes even more shrill.
Oh, Celestia! That story became so tiresome after the first 200 years. How you used her, how you betrayed her.
Mag leans back against the bars as Ink's words strike with the force of a sledgehammer.
Your idea of revenge was just so pathetic. You are the one who set everything into motion, going so far as to trick my son into purposely angering Curse Word that day. It's because of you and your actions that I have been damned to this. My pain is on you and you alone.
Mag used me? My world shifts and turns. Everything I thought I knew shatters as the new pieces click into place. The Colt, that mare, Mag acting so distant. Clarity overwhelms and bombards my mind with even more questions. I hyperextend my jaw, loosening the stitching, and one of the many cords snap. Mag, please! I need to talk to you! Listen to me! Mag's eyes lock on the ground, her head hanging low.
You're right. I'm the one who did this. I betrayed her.
Her shoulders tremble as tears stream down her face.
At least I got to see her one more time. To kiss her.
Mag's voice trails off abruptly, though, as her body tenses. Her right hoof raises to her muzzle, and her ears swivel back.
What?
A chortle breaks the silence as choking panic screams erupt from the cage.
Well, we won't have to worry about that anymore, will we, my little bird?
Mag's eyes bulge with terror as her hooves claw desperately at her muzzle. Waxen, undulating skin dribbles down her face and over her lips. The strands of liquefied flesh knitting and fusing together. A doll's mouth being sewn up by her owner. To be seen, not heard. The last ropes of hide bind into place, dissolving into an unbroken plain of fur as if no mouth had ever existed. She runs a trembling hoof over the flawless fur, muffled screams emanating from her throat as ink dye cackles manically.
Now, isn't that better? You can't talk back if you don't have a mouth. You still don't get it, my little bird. I'm going to teach you to behave, and I will take all the time I need. My love will mold you, bring you back to what you're supposed to be. Soon, you will realize that loving curse word was the biggest mistake of your life.
The sound of magic and ripping cords fills the air. My coiled form explodes in magical fury, and moments later, I reappear beside that bitch. My back hooves extend, connecting with Ink's shocked expression as her head turns towards the sound of my magic. My front hooves brace and bite into the floor. I channel all my rage and hatred into a double buck into her muzzle. With enough force to fell a tree, I connect, and I am rewarded with a shrill scream as that cunt goes flying, swooshing and flailing through the air. She impacts hard over 30 feet away, colliding with the floor in a wet thud and exploding into a shower of black rain. No, pissing me off was, you bitch! As my hindquarters retract, I shift my center of gravity, pivoting on my front hooves. I glance at Mag's crumpled body as my head whips around, and then charges towards the inky pool as it rises and fuses into a familiar form. My hooves pound against the hard, murky floor, and my horn glows with crimson fury. As Ink's eyes ignite piss yellow within her stupid fucking face, I let loose a magical surge, the bloody bolt hurling towards that annoying grin. Her body liquefies and showers to the floor, dodging the blast seconds before it strikes, as her laughter echoes around me. I skid to a halt, whipping my neck left to right, searching for the bitch. Only the small whimpers of Mag trying to pry open her mouth echo in the darkness as the laughter fades.
Ink! Stop fucking hiding and fight me, you pussy! One monster to another! Let's see who's got the bigger pair!
A monster? Me? My looks may be deceiving, but I can assure you, I am nowhere near as despicable, as vile as you.
A geyser of ink spews into the air before me, and I am greeted with that smug shit-eating grin as that bitch steps out of it.
Could have fooled me!
My instincts kick into overdrive as I lunge at her, my right hoof making contact with her chest. Her silky surface ripples slightly, my hoof passing through like water. I jump back, narrowing my eyes, and watch her as she smugly grins at me.
Look at you. You only know how to solve your problems with violence, nothing but brute force. Trying to hurt me, or any pony for that matter, at the drop of a bit. It's no wonder Magpie used you to enact her little revenge plan.
You leave her the fuck alone! All you ever did was hurt her!
And you didn't? Oh, how it killed her on the inside, helpless as you spiraled further and further into darkness and depravity, watching as the monster you are rose to the surface.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Unbeknownst to you, Magpie has been watching you this whole time. When you cursed her all those years ago, I saved her, placing her in this realm to protect her from you. We both watched as you gave into your heinous ways, slaughtering all those innocent ponies. And don't lie and say they were bad ponies who needed to be punished. We saw it, my little bird and I. And them? You became indiscriminate, slaughtering all those who crossed your path, just as any true monster would.
It takes a fucking monster to know one.
But you see, I am not a monster. My current state was never by choice, curse word. I was forced to watch you kill them all, then watch her deceive them, each and every soul, all in the hopes of restoring you. Nearly 100,000 souls, in groups, pairs, or alone, led like lambs to your loving slaughter. If anyone is deserving of that redemption, it should be me. Both your hooves are stained with their blood. I was forced to kill my own son. I was sent to that horrendous prison. Little did the rest of Equestria know what dark experiments were being performed on the ponies in there. The pain, the years of fear and shame, indignities and horrors you cannot fathom. Let's just say, the magic-infused chemicals they injected into me did wonders for my looks.
Ink spreads her quill-like wings, and tendrils whip violently into the dismal void.
My transformation into this monster is not of my own doing. It never was. But you? Well, your outside just reflects what was already festering on the inside.
At least I don't pretend to love some pony. At least I never fucking abused her!
I roar as I charge at her. Tendrils spiral out from her sides, striking with lightning speed as they form into a club. The ebony mass strikes me from beneath like an iron, smashing into my barrel and knocking the wind from my lungs. My legs give way, and I collapse on the floor.
I loved her more than your simple little mind could ever comprehend. I only wanted what was best for her, even if she didn't realize it at the time. Sometimes it takes it from Hoof to show her how much I love her.
Pure, unbridled rage detonates within my chest. My blood boils and surges, engorging my rotten flesh and powering my strikes as hooves reach out, flailing furiously, but only passing through black sludge. I will scratch this bitch's eyeballs out! A smug chortle taunts me as more tendrils whip out from behind her frame, striking to counter my every blow, mocking me, toying with me.
I was the complete package. I had everything a mare could ever dream of. A career that involved the royalty, an extraordinary home, the astounding luxury, the elusive social status. A mare would have to be a complete idiot to not want me.
I bow forward and crash to my knees as the tendrils finally let up their attack, the last of my strength failing as I crumple onto my side.
You cannot deny the fact that when she and I first met, there were sparks. I recall the look in her eyes when she first saw me. The desire, the lust. She wanted it just as badly as I did. So I gave it to her. I gave her all of myself.
A faint cry breaks Ink's concentration. She turns towards Mag's cage, my gaze following hers. The outline of Mag's pink coat contrasts against the now barely visible cage. Ink turns her gaze back to me, shifting her back to the cage.
Just to hear her again, like that. It's so intoxicating. Exquisite, don't you agree?
No, it's fucked up to even think of her like that.
But didn't the numerous, endless ponies you massacred moan for mercy?
Ink's penetrating sneer reveals the depth of depravity within. A portal laid open to the demented thoughts that play beneath the calm exterior. I swallow hard, hesitating to answer the question.
A scream cut short by swift pain. The whimpers lingering in your ears as they cower and beg, pleading for some kind of mercy. The feeling of power, control, having their lives under your hoof, twisting their will to your own satisfaction. It must have excited you, curse word. But what you did was a mere shadow of our love. My little bird and I, her pain was pure, unfeathered, and raw. I provided all she could ever need or desire. I gave her existence meaning. That was, at least until she became confused. strayed away from her purpose, forsaking our love. I mean, how?
Ink cranes her neck, her face lowering to eye level with me as my breath comes in ragged gasps. A hoof gingerly caresses the worn leather of my mask as I try to turn away, but her hoof holds my chin firmly in place.
How could she try to replace me with something like you? A common pony with such a crass, ill-behaved and unrefined demeanor. A pony who literally uses her own sorrow as a crutch to justify her immortal deeds. I think after all's accounted, you are by far the greatest insult. Even after all these years, she still does not understand what love really is.
Ink leans in close. Her chemical breath washes over my muzzle. Faint trickles of ink drip within her skull, black droplets rolling down the sickly yellow windows of her corrupted soul.
Love is the pure, biological need to satisfy our own ravenous urges. There is no greater truth.
Azure light blooms and expands, banishing the darkness and framing ink dye's twisted form. The intensity of the light waxes, causing ink to raise a hoof in the phase of its blazing intensity. I squint, trying to adjust to the light as a single determined voice rings out.
Let her go!
A thunderclap ignites, and the brass cage erupts into shrapnel, and Mag appears from thin air, standing between Ink and me. Tall and proud, she radiates a cerulean brilliance.
How did you even—
Let her go, Ink!
My little bird, what do you think you're doing?
I am not your little bird.
Yes, you are. You will always be my little—
I'm not something. An object you can toy with and control. I was twice your size when we were together. All of the horrible, fucked up shit you put me through. Did you honestly expect me to come back to you? To love you again?
You're such a petulant child, Magpie. You never did know what was best for you, for us.
For us? Really? This has always been about you, Ink. It was never about what I wanted, what I needed, or even what I felt. Do you even know how bad you broke me? How wounded I was after I ran away from you? I couldn't trust any pony. I honestly thought I was too broken, too damaged to ever love or be loved. It was all because of you. Kersey was the one who put me back together.
Why do you still put your faith, your love in this abomination?
Because I know deep down inside she is not a monster. You're right. We did watch her kill those ponies. But you love to omit one fact. Curse wept after she killed them. At least in the beginning, before she turned numb to it all. She only did it because she thought it was her lot in life. That she was supposed to be this monster. But you've had a darkness inside you from the very start. You feel nothing. Not remorse nor love. Only sadistic satisfaction for the pain you cause. No matter how much you torture her, torture us, our love will always be stronger. Stronger than anything you could ever throw at us. I've been cowering and afraid of you for too long. This ends now, Ink. I'm not your puppet, your rag doll, your punching bag, or your fucking little bird. I am Magpie, and I will always love my curse—
Mag's voice breaks as her body ridges and muscles tense. Ruby droplets burble up from her lips and shower down upon the darkened ground. A wet sucking sound accompanies the slow, torturous retraction of the ebony spike lodged in her chest. My heart thuds in my ears as the world slows, her graceful pink form falling from space like a puppet with its strings suddenly cut. A loud thud, empty and hollow, reverberates as she strikes the floor. Unmoving and limp, the pit of my stomach drops as my world spirals and implodes. Meg. My thoughts are stifled by the sight of her, of my...
I guess it wasn't really you I loved. It was this feeling, this force, this control.
Mag!
Enjoy her while you still can, curse word.
Ink's sardonic laughter echoes into the void as her body dissolves into the darkness. I grit my teeth as I pull Mag close, running a hoof through her mane. A soft, pained moan escapes her lips. The warm cerulean glow that once blazed brightly around her has been extinguished. Her body left worn and bruised. Ink blotches cover her entire being.
Kersey,
Shh. It's okay. I'm here now. Mag's breath comes shallow and ragged as she attempts to pull herself up. I place a steady hoof gently on her chest, forcing her to relax within my embrace. The lack of strength and how easily she falls back terrifies me.
No. You need to get away from here.
Even within her current state, she's still trying to protect me from this horrible mess. This mess that she set into motion. She pushes my hoof aside and painstakingly props herself upright, taking advantage of my frantic mind as it's finally able to comb over all the details that I've been so blind to for so long. All I had ever hoped for was to find her one day and to finally be with her again, to right my wrongs. The perfect, idealized version of her was the only thing I had to hold on to during those 900+ years of desperation and despair. When did I lose sight of who she really was? Or was she always like this, and I was blind from the beginning? Time seems to make you grow fond of only the good memories, and that pedestal that I placed her upon, it's all come crashing down. Fear and doubt claw at my heart. But as I watch her struggle to sit, to breathe, I can't help but want to protect this flawed mare, to be with her, to love her. Ink, she did so many things, so many horrible and terrible things to her. I take her hooves into mine, gripping tightly, looking her squarely in the eyes. No, I said I'm not going anywhere, especially not now, silly. Her sight follows the mask, tracing every little bit of me, as if she's trying to memorize what I am now. I want to pull into myself, to conceal from her the thing that I've become. Her beautiful, sparkling eyes won't let me, though. Those captivating lilac portals stare deeper into me, her lingering gaze just as loving and gentle as it was all those years ago.
I'm sorry, Kersey. I never meant to.
I know you didn't mean to. It's okay, I get it. I smile at her, or at least try to from behind the tattered hide. Her eyes beam up at me as she tries to stand. I help her to her hooves, twinges of fear and concern blooming in the sight of the blackening discoloration in the center of her chest. That alarm sharpens as I see it slowly expanding and creep out from her wound.
Aw, wasn't that just a lovely little moment? You two disgust me.
Ink's sarcastic voice drips with venom and hate as it echoes through the void. Mag's ears pin back against her scalp as my gaze swivels left to right, trying to see where that bitch's voice is coming from.
Two monsters comforting one another when the end is ever looming for them. There is no redemption for the likes of either of you. Neither of you are worthy of it, because you both chose this path, the one lined with the lives you have ruined.
Real fucking mature, you stupid bitch.
Oh, my little stupid bird. You made your choice, and now you get to live with... Oops. Die with it.
I bite my lip as I watch the expression on Mag's face. She winces slightly, but I can't tell if it's from that bitch's voice or something else.
You are in no shape to try and take her on,
she says, nuzzling against my neck. I nuzzle her back, trying to mask my thoughts. I'll take care of this, I promise. Just stay here and out of the way, okay? I turn tail and gallop into the darkness, hoping to put some distance between us and Mag. I can't lose her again.
Exile! Come out, you stupid cunt!
Oh, curse word. You have such a way with words.
I'm fucking done with your bullshit!
That's cute. You actually think you have a chance.
I'm not fucking around anymore, Ink!
Same old song and dance. How predictably disappointing. Huh?
Come here, shit stain!
You!
One hit and you're down? Fucking pussy.
I recall seeing something similar to Magpie once. I believe your attempts are falling apart at the seams. And to think, I could have done this all along.
Hard to kill the undead, isn't it, you bitch? And since you like tentacles so much!
How unoriginal, curse word. Do you actually believe you can stop me?
As a matter of fact, I fucking do.
What the?
Any final words, cunt?
You can't destroy me in my realm!
Let's find out, shall we?
Curse
At least she finally shut the fuck up.
Did she really think it was going to be that easy?
How is she not tired?
I'm not tired because I have that endless supply of souls you murdered.
Stop reading my fucking thoughts!
Don't you get it, curse word? This is my realm. I control this dimension and all who inhabit it. I've heard all your thoughts in Magpie since the start of this wretched journey. I even know the ones who are viewing these events unfold from behind a black screen. Can't you feel their eyes as my story unfolds, watching with bated breath? I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. There is no escape for a villain like you! But I do have to thank you, Curse Word. I just needed a little push, and you shoved me right into murdering that little fucking brat. I mean, I had abused Magpie so much, but to kill another pony, especially a foal? Even I thought that was too much at one point, but he wasn't even my child. That Colt and his father were just a means to an end. So I really have to thank you, and that super special talent of yours. If it wasn't for that, I would have never gathered enough nerve to drown the little shit.
What?
You heard me. I killed that Colt, and I knew what I was doing the whole time.
I didn't kill that little Colt.
How are you?
I'm a cockroach, remember? I just keep coming back! Mag! Mag! Baby, come on! You have to wake up! Mag? No. Mag, please! I just found you. You can't fucking leave me. Not now. Not after all this. Please. Just please. Wake up. You can't fucking leave me, Mag. I know I fucked up. But you can't leave me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't find you sooner.
Cursey.
Mag, I love you. I love you with my whole heart.
Cursey, tell me a story.
It's too late, Curse Word.
Yeah, maybe it is. And maybe I'm just a sitting target here. But I'm not letting her go. I'm staying right here. End of story. Swallowing hard, I force the lump down and watch her carefully. Her breathing is faint. Once upon a time, there was a unicorn mare who always felt out of place with her Pegasi family. She didn't think she would ever find a place where she truly belonged, or be accepted for the mare that she could be. Then she met a mare who she thought would be the answer to her prayers. A mare that she could love without fear and judgment from others. But this mare was more toxic to her than the life she left behind. She was a prisoner in her own home, shouldering the pain and suffering she had endured each and every day. But she had courage. Courage that garbage mare didn't anticipate. And she got out. She was free from everything that held her back. And she found a new place. A place to start over. and maybe find a new love. Mag, please. Mag, this can't be the end. This can't be. Your story isn't over, Mag. This isn't the end. My eyes shoot open, and I inhale sharply, choking on the breath as it rushes into my lungs. A small thud plunks down beside me as I cough and wheeze, finally calming myself. Glancing down, I notice the book laying haphazardly on the ground, and the wooden floor it's on. I blink a few more times, unsure of what the fuck is going on. Wasn't I just...
Curse? Is everything okay?
A young, annoying, and familiar voice exclaims. I finally glance up and I see that little Colt staring back at me. In fact, I'm surrounded by the familiar sight of little foals settled around me, each one of them sporting a very confused expression as they peer at me intently. It's then that I glimpse at the back of the room, and I see one mare who I thought I had lost for an eternity. My eyes lock on Mag's lilac eyes. I feel the tears welling up, but stop them before too many of them can escape. She shies away, though, hiding behind a bookcase. Wait, a bookcase? I look around, recognizing this place. It's the library from my hometown. What?
Curse? Are you gonna finish the story or not?
The little Colt whines, picking up the book with his hooves. I think I need to take a little break. I reply back, trying to calm my nerves. Let's meet here in about 15 minutes, okay? The group of foals proceed to get up, groaning about a supposed cliffhanger I'd left off on. Before the little Colt, though, Skip Scamper was his name, I think, can take off with the foals, I yank him aside with my magic. He yelps as I turn him to face me.
What day is it?
He stares at me confused.
It's Tuesday, duh.
I rub the bridge of my snout, remembering how my patience always ran thin with him. No, I mean, what's the date?
Oh, it's the 17th.
Of what month, Skip?
Of June. God! Shouldn't you know these things? You are the adult here.
June 17th. That's the date of the first time I ever met Mag. What the fuck is going on? I have one more question, Skip. Do you know that pink mare that's in the back of the library?
You mean Magpie?
Yes, I mean Magpie. How long has she been working here?
Ugh, you said there was only one more question.
Just answer the damn question, Skip.
Fine. Ugh. I think for a few days. She's the new assistant librarian.
Only a few days. That must mean...
Can I go now?
Skip tugs at my forehoof, trying to get my attention. I shake my head, quieting my thoughts. Yeah, sure, kid. Go play with the other foals, okay? I reply, walking away from him, but stop when I remember his connection to everything. I whirl around and call out, "Hey, Skip, wait!"
What?
Shh! A collective shush echoes from the library as he and I wince, realizing our volume. I trot over to him. Is your dad dating anyone? His bright emerald eyes gawk at me.
Ew! Why would you ask me about that?
He sticks out his tongue, obviously disgusted by the thought. It's not for me. I'm just asking for a friend.
No. And he definitely wouldn't date a mayor like you. Blech.
All right, kiddo, go play with the rest of the foals. My horn flares up, and I shove him towards the door. I can hear him mumbling about not wanting to ever have me as a mother, as I finally make my way to the back of the library. I quietly trot, glancing between the rows of bookcases, until I finally come across the last row at the very back of the library. My heart races, and I can feel my eyes sting with tears. I linger at the end of the row, watching as Mag delicately picks up a book from the cart sitting next to her with her mouth, and daintily places it back onto the shelf. I remember this now, how she would always refuse to use her magic for the most simplest of tasks when I first met her. I never understood why. She just always gave me the excuse of trying to conserve magic. I understand now. It's been ingrained into her that she wasn't allowed to use it. That bitch ain't die. My fur stands on end as I realize I've been in a similar situation like this before. I'm on guard, my eyes darting back and forth, trying to see if there's any hints of this being an illusion just to torment me. I start to grab books off the nearby shelf and flip through them hastily, seeing if there's any kind of ink blotches within the pictures of the books.
Can I help you?
I jump, dropping the books within my magic, when I realize she's standing right behind me. No. I spin around and try to hold my composure as I'm greeted by the sweet trace of lavender again. That scent, it really is.
Oh, okay.
Right as she's about to turn away, I realize what I need to do. Wait, I'm sorry. I smile nervously, trying to cool my nerves. I was, just trying to find another book to read to the foals. Mag's expression drops from concern to confusion.
I think you might be in the wrong section for that.
She says, pointing a hoof to the sign that's hanging in the row that reads, Equestrian Law. Oh, well, I guess it's never too early to start them on. Architecture Regulations for Pegasus Structures, Volume 12. How the fuck do they have 12 volumes for this? I stare at the book, realizing how dumb I sound, but before I can get a word in, Mag giggles at me.
Oh yeah, it's a real page-turner. Don't forget to read all the subtext and the footnotes.
She smiles at me softly. She reaches down to pick up a book from the ground. Before she gets that chance, though, my magic ignites, gathering all the books I dropped. Sorry for making a mess.
Don't be. It gives me more of an excuse to stay back here rather than deal with her.
Her? My throat falls into my stomach, and my mind races, bracing for the inevitable. Who's her?
The, librarian. Oh gosh, are you one of her friends? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
Ooh, holy fuck. She's such a bitch.
Oh, you really had me scared for a second there. I thought I might be the only one.
Oh god, no. Everyone in this place hates her.
That's strangely comforting.
Noticing the cart of books behind her, I proceed to grab them all with my magic and place them back on the shelf. Here, let me get the rest of them. I don't think I got your name. My name's Curseword.
Well, Curseword, I can see why you're not a librarian.
Oh, how come?
You just placed amphibians of the swamplands in equestrian law. I'm not sure if they wrote the laws, but hey, I'm new here, so what do I know, right? I'm Magpie, by the way.
And with that, Mag and I started over back where it all began. And to be frank, it was odd and quite jarring at first. Watching the same events unfold again with everything that I know now, but I didn't care. I made damn sure that I didn't make the same mistakes again. When those nightmares reared their ugly head, I was ready to face them head on with her. It was a slow, gradual process of finally getting her to talk about her past, but I waited patiently, and I tried to steer her in the right direction. My biggest fault the first time around was, well, being so blinded by the rose-tinted glasses that I always wore when I looked at her. All I ever wanted was just for some pony to love me, and she was all of that and more. She said in that void that she thought that she was too broken to be loved, but the truth is, I think you're never too broken to be loved. I mean, she loved me the first time around. Every pony is broken and damaged on some level, and I was no exception. Some of us just hide it a lot better than the rest. If anything, I'm a bit more damaged now, especially after, the 100 years of being a raging psychopath. But you want to know what the real kicker is? It seems like not a single pony remembers anything of the Lost Narrator. I mean, why would they? I time-leapt to a point before all that even happened. All of it. Although, that's the thing. I'm the only one who's retained any recollection of, well, everything. Maybe this is some sort of alternate timeline of sorts. I still don't completely understand what happened in there, but as I comb over all the details of these events and how they unfolded, well, it's a miracle in itself that I'm even standing here telling you this story and not in some psych ward. It doesn't mean that all of this has been easy, though, for me to just readjust to this old life. It's never just a walk in the park, especially when I was that corpse for so long. Do you know how unnerving it is when I come across a pony that I damned in another life? The guilt it cripples me sometimes. Even more when I consider that I'm still capable of making that all happen again. It's an ignorant mindset to just not realize that my words could have devastating ripples around me. However, second chances are not meant to be taken for granted, and I would be a selfish, ungrateful asshole if I ever did that. Still, there are moments where I catch myself flinching away from Mag because I'm afraid of not being able to control this power. At my weakest moments, my mind derails and thinks maybe she would be safer without me. If I'm with her, I might enact the same mistake again and send us back into that damned future. I mean, how do you keep those innate tendencies at bay? Especially when you've been giving into them for the last several hundred years or so. How do you rewire yourself? Well, I can tell you, it's not a single pony job. Love really is a two-way street. I'm helping build her back up again, and little does she know, she's doing the same for me. There you have it. The story of Curseword, the pony who finally found her beloved, but only after losing herself along the way to the twisted, grotesque nature that rises in ponies out of loneliness and bitterness. This isn't supposed to be some kind of narrative where you find this clear-cut moral of how to be a better pony. Because it's more complicated than that. Life is this mixture of blacks and whites, dark and light grays, where you have to find your own way. And Sometimes there aren't any definitive answers, no matter how hard you search. I mean, except for how much of a bitch ink dye is. There's really no denying that.
I know this is gonna sound extremely corny, but this sunset is so pretty. I love how the colors like fade into each other like that.
Yeah, me too.
Are you okay, Kersey? You seem really out of it lately.
Oh? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just tired is all.
You didn't sleep again, did you?
You really can read me like a book sometimes, you know that?
Well, you're my Kersey, so of course I can.
Mag, if I ever did something horrible, would you still love me?
How horrible are we talking? Like eating the last piece of cake? Because I'm not so sure about.
No, you dork. I mean something really bad. Like hurting some pony.
Well, they'd have to really fuck with you to make you want to hurt them.
But what if they were innocent and just in the wrong place at the wrong time?
But there has to be a reason why you would hurt that pony. You wouldn't just go around hurting ponies all willy-nilly. There's always a reason.
Mag, just answer the question. Would you still love me?
You're being ridiculous. I'm always going to love you, no matter what. I'm never going to leave you, remember?
Promise?
Promise. Besides, I don't think you have a rotten bone in your whole body.
Not anymore, at least.
What was that?
Nothing. I love you, Mag.
I love you too. Can we go eat some cake now? Like, I'm really hungry for cake. I blame you.
God damn it, Mag.
It's about time someone came along to pick you up and make you strong. Banish the hurt harbored in your heart. Banish the hurt. There's a chance now for reversion. There's a way into the light. I will guide you back from darkness. I will bring you full delight. There's a chance now for reversion. There's a way into the light. I will guide you back from darkness. I will bring you full delight. There's a chance now for reversion. There's a way into the light. I will guide you back chance now for reversion. There's a way into the light. I will guide you back from darkness. I will bring you full delight tonight.
You used me! That storytelling mare told me everything about you and what you were trying to do. I want you out! I should have listened to Skip when he said you were a horrible mare.
I'm sorry, honey. Can't we try to work this?
I've already filed the divorce papers. We are over.
Calm down, Ink. Everything will still work out. This is fine. I'll have my little bird back in.
I know why you're here, and I'm not going to let you hurt her again.
Who are you?
I'm the pony who's about to put her hoof so far down your backside, you'll be tasting what you had for breakfast. Mag is with me now, and there's no way I'll ever let you hurt her again. So take your pint-sized ass back to the social climbing closeted lifestyle and stay the fuck away from Mag. Oh, and if I ever catch you within a 50-mile radius of this town or her again, I'll cast a spell so vile you'll be shitting out your teeth for a month and drinking your apples through a straw for the rest of your miserable life.
Yeah, you get her, Kersey.